port. Correct. So
Correct.
if we are using any application on any of the device,
Mhm.
right, that is using any that is using some port. If you
What is the rating it
ask
is
me
for
to
both?
any of the service is running on your laptop, any of the service running your phone, any of the application is running on your the laptop or phone or server, it is using any of the network port.
Correct. Correct.
Correct.
Correct.
Right. So like that, your the web service is using port 80 or 443. Right. You know that the RDP,
Yes.
right?
Remote
RDP is
desktop.
remote desktop connection. Right.
Yes.
Through this, you are accessing any of the Windows machine through the like through remote. Right. Let's suppose you are you want to access any server through your laptop, then you just you can access through this RDP. So this is the RDP is basically used for Windows Server and PuTTY. PuTTY, you know the PuTTY,
Yes.
right? PuTTY is like also a software that you can use for the Linux server access. So this basically is used on the SSH service, right? So SSH service basically works on 22 port, and this one is also like I believe 3385 something, or I need to
Sir,
check this one.
Putty and RDB are different, na?
Yes, yes. Actually, these are the different tools. So actually, these are the tools or utility. Through this, you can access your server. If you
Mhm.
want to access your Windows server, you can access through RDP. You have to take the RDP. If you want to access your the Linux server, then you have to use this PuTTY, because the Linux server, your the CLI servers like so we talk. I okay. We have not talked about the GUI and CLI. Let me
Mhm.
tell you your the Windows server, right? These are the all your Windows server, all over your Windows like versions like 2012, 2019, 2016, 2020, 22. These are the Windows operating system, right? So these are your GUI applications or GUI OS.
Mhm.
Apart from these, whatever the Unix, the platform we have like Red Hat, CentOS, Ubuntu, Fedora, right? These are your CLI, the platforms. CLI means command line interface. You can
Mhm.
access through it. You can access these the OS through your PuTTY, and you can like use the commands to perform your task, or your you want to like run any action, you want to perform any task, you have to use the command. You got this one?
Yes. Yes.
So
Got it.
in this, just you need to simply just
Yes.
remember like if you want to access your Windows server, you need to use this RDP. If you
Mhm.
want to access your the Unix systems, you need to use this PuTTY sessions, right? And this RDP actually so right, or if I'm going in the backend in this on the Windows server side,
Mhm.
if this RDP service is not enabled or is not running, then you cannot access your server through RDP also,
Correct. Correct.
right? Because this is the utility, but this application should also be running on the server. Then you can only access the server. The same thing here also. If this SSH service is not running on that server, then you cannot access this server through PuTTY as well. So actually, I just want to tell you here the any application or any service that is running on or like you want to use that application or service right? That service should be running, and that port is also on. So that port is also in a listening mode on the network.
Which port required for RDP?
RDP port, actually port I have not remembered. Let me tell you, it's a 33 something, 3385. Let me just tell you. RDP port. Yeah, 3389. It's a 3389. Okay.
So by default it's enable when we create a server, correct?
Yes. By default, actually on Windows server it's enabled, but on the Linux server it's not enabled. So actually on Linux server,
Okay.
this SSH service is not enabled. This SSH service. So the Unix team
Okay.
has to enable it. Then only they can access this server through the putty.
Okay. Okay.
Right. I'll show you that the RDP connections, like is it like showing like that? This one. If you're able to see this one, so this type of the window, you have to put your IP address here, then port number, then you have to connect. After that, it will ask you to put the user ID and password. Right.
Okay.
Let me show you that putty also. हाँ बेटा. Right. So actually, this is the icon for putty software. Let me. It will be showing like this. This one. If you see this image. Oh, this one. Right here, you need
Okay.
to put your IP address. Then the port. It is a default port, the 2022. Then you have to click on open. Right. Then it will ask you to the user ID and password.
Okay.
Okay, got it. How you can
Yes, sir.
access your like the Linux server, or how you can access your Windows server. So once you logged in on your Linux server, it will showing like this. If you able to see this screen, this one.
Yeah.
Let me just big it. No, it will not. Right. If you able to see now, you can see this server is connected through your root access. Right. And every task which you want to perform here, you have to run the commands
In Linux, sir.
in Linux.
Okay.
Okay. Now we are coming back to our this like the communication, and we talked about that port also. So that the the net backup is also like the net backup services is also like using some port. Once we install the net backup software, so they are using some ports, or they are running some services on the client server and master server and media server. On each server they are running some different services, but for communication they are using some the common services, right? Because each server has the different role. The master server has different role, media server has different role, and client server has different role. But for the connecting to each other, they are using the same services. So that is the net backup client service. Client service. Right. So this service should be run once you install the net backup on the master server or media server or your the client machine. Then this is the common service. It will be running on all three servers, and this is using some ports 1372 2374. You got this?
Yes, got
Actually,
it.
these things you just need to remember it, right? Once we come in the like the live sessions or the some practical sessions, then I'll show you like how it is showing. But you have to remember these things, like for which service, which ports needed, because at the time of the
Okay.
troubleshooting of the backup, you need to verify your port as well. Sometimes what happens, the network team is disable the ports, so your backup will be getting failed. Then you need to like which ports you require for for the net backup services. Okay. So these applications, actually, I'm not going right now in a deeper, because once we come the net backup services thing, then we'll like in a details. We'll see in a details. I just so in the right now I'm just telling you the port numbers: 13724, 13782, 13720, and 1556 PBX. The full
This is
form is
hello.
yes.
This all port for record for only backup server, net backup server. Correct.
No. Actually, these okay. Okay, 1 second. Private branch exchange service of Veritas private branch exchange service. Okay, so let me tell you here actually how the net backup communication. Net backup communication is the bidirectional on all ports. The first thing, bidirectional means you have your master, you have your media, you have your client. So the communication is like this. The port should be open the bidirectionally. Right? Because actually on the network side, once you go to the network team, they will ask you to port how you want to open the port.
Bidirectional.
Right? Is it one way or two way? So you will ask them to two way, like the bidirectional. My port should be open bidirectionally, because that this service is running on the master, media, and client, and this service is only for reliable for connecting your master, media, and the client to each other. Right? So you just need to remember these ports.
13724 VNetted. BP for 1378. Hello.
Yeah.
13724 VNetted, sir. VNetted port number.
1372. Yes. VNetted. Actually, actually, I tell you now, these are the some services will go in that once we come to that the services part, because on each server, like master server, media server, and client server, has the different services, the different kind of the services. So we'll discuss. Actually, this is the whole chapter. It's a 1 day whole chapter. I just tell you like the basic idea how your the master, media, and your that like the client server is up to communicating to each other, right? So once we install the net backup software, then some of the services running on top of that, then these are ports should be enabled on the network side, then only your master, media, and client server communication is happen. Actually, in this topic, we are just seeing like how the master, media is connecting to each other. Okay, we'll talk about on that services because there are so many services on the master media and client. So we'll discuss on that.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
So so this is fine, like right, like how your this one is connecting, and backend like we know like how your network cable and ports, right? So these are the basic things, but still I'll let you know like how in the backend it is going through. Is it fine, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, no.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Okay. Now let me just tell you one important topic, that the storage devices and this tape library. I'm sorry, 1 second. Okay. So anyone know like okay, what is tape library?
Tape is a removable device, right, sir? Right, sir.
Sorry,
It is removable device, tape is.
it is removable device. Okay. Right.
Uh,
Okay. First, let me show you like the tape library picture. How it's look like this. Okay. You can see this one, this picture. This is the IBM library, right? The model is TS3200. So this is the library. I'll tell you what is the library, but just first see this image, right? And let me show you another also. This is actually a small model. This one. This is the big one. So this is IBM TS3500 model, right?
okay.
Now let me come back to here. This is your library. In this, um, we have tape drive, and here in this we have the slots. Actually, this is inside the architecture of the library. I'll show you image also. This we called IO slot. Sorry, not IO slot. Um, this is we called slot. In these slots, we are putting the tape media. We are putting the tape medias. Okay. So what is the tape media? The first thing, what is the tape media? Tape media is where you are storing your data. Tape media looks like this, where you are storing your data, or like where you're like keeping your data. Let me just tell you one example. If you're going in a bag, have you seen that CD?
Yes.
C drive, guys? Yes, no?
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. So CD basically what like happen? We just store some data on top of it. Right. We write some data and store it. Once we require, we then again we put this in a CD drive. CD drive and read the data. So what this CD drive is working? CD drive is basically used for reading and writing the data on this CD. Correct?
Yeah. Yes.
This CD drive, what this is doing? This is basically doing, this is writing or reading the data from the CD drive. Let me tell you one more example. If you seen that cassette,
Yeah.
right? In cassette, there is a two holes in this, and there is a black magnetic tape here
Yeah.
on this top
Yes.
of it, right? And you have your that the tape drive
Record.
also, like that we call something like the writer or what, the tape recorder. Correct?
Yes.
Earlier we call this
Yes.
as a tape recorder. In this we are putting this putting this cassette, right? We are putting this cassette, then it is like play your songs. The
Yes.
same mechanism here also, the same concept here also, just the name change, or the hardware architecture, or its like the image is same, but the idea, or I can say like the technology is the same in this here also. Like this, here we have magnetic tape of the black reel, the black this kind of the reel. Correct? So here
Yeah.
also the same thing, we have the magnetic tape that is inside this tape media. Correct?
Yeah.
And this is the tape drive. So this tape drive is basically to read and write data on this tape media. Correct? And this recorder we can call this as a your tape library. So but the thing is only here you can put the one cassette at a one time, right? Or it is a single tape recorder. Here we have the multiple tape drives, 1 2 3 4 5 6 as per the model,
Yeah.
and we have the multiple slots here. In this we can put the multiple medias, right? And here we have one robot also, one robot. So what it is doing, because every time you do not need to put your tape media inside this tape drive, these things happen automatically. We have one robot inside this library. Once the backup software, or once your net backup software like ask for the media, then your robot just check the free media or available media and pick this media from this slot and insert in this drive, or in this drive, or in this drive.
Okay.
I'm just telling you like how this libraries works, right? So the library architecture, we have this library, inside this we have slots, we have tape drive, we have one robot. This is
Yeah.
the inside of the tape library.
Okay.
Okay. Now in front of this tape library, if I'm talking about, I just shown you this inside of the library. Let me show you that image once again. if you see this image, right, you can see inside these are some slots. So these are the slots where you are like keeping your medias in these ones. Let
Okay.
me search another good image. Yeah, see this one. Right, you can see your media is like keeping in the slots here only and here
Yes.
only. These are, and this is your robot. If you
Okay.
close these doors, right, these doors, then it will looks like a almirah. Right, there is a some
Yes.
space between all four partitions. So this robot is moving in this empty space in this empty space, right, and it check which is the free media and it just picking it and inserting in this drive. These are the drives. So these are the drives here, these one,
Okay.
right. So this is the inside one. Now I'm just showing you the front. uh Front, you can see this image for the small one, right. This is the Dell EMC model, but no issue. Let me show IBM as well. This is the IBM one, right. This we call uh, this we call the panel.
Okay.
This we call the panel, and there are a few buttons here. So for these few buttons, we can perform the operations. The operation means what? The like what kind of the operations? This we call the IO slot. So I'll tell you what is the IO slot. Right. Let's suppose you have some in this model. If I'm talking about the IBM
Yeah, yeah, bro.
3200 model. In this model, we have total 3 drives and 48 slots. It means you have 3 drives, this 1, 2, 3, and you have 48 slots. These are the 48 slots. You can put 48 media and you have a 3 drives. So at a time you can run your 3 jobs because you have the 3 drives. So one job on
Okay.
each drive, one backup on each drive. Correct.
Yes.
Guys, clear it.
Yes, sir.
Right now, let's suppose these 48 media is full. These all media is full. You have to insert the another 48 media or another some media, some free media. So first you have to eject some media. You have to remove some media from here. Correct. So the operation, it's not like that you just open the door or like open your library and eject the media. You have your this panel, you have your this button. From this button you can eject the IO. You can first you need to put this media in the IO slot. So in front of this is the front of library. Here
Okay.
you have IO slots. So first you have to eject media from slots to IO slot.
Mhm.
From this IO slot. इसको ऐसे समझ सकते हो जैसे कि एक अलमारी है, उसके अंदर से वहां से निकाल के एक बाहर का जो फ्रंट वाला जो गेट है, उस गेट के पास कुछ आपके स्लॉट्स हैं, वहां पे रख दी, जिससे कि वो सिर्फ आपको क्या करना है, वो फ्रंट वाला गेट खोलना है और वहां से वो मीडिया आपको उठा लेना है.
Okay.
इस वाले केस में क्या होगा? इन दिस केस यू जस्ट नीड टू इजेक्ट दिस आईओ IO station, right? So first you need to put your media from slots to IO station, then just eject this one. You can see this picture.
Yes.
It will eject like this, right? And media will be here. So once it came out, then you just need to eject the media from here. And you have to insert the same way, the free media here only, and just pull back this door inside, right? Then after that, these all media will move from here to here. In this, I just told you how the library operations happen, because once you are going in a backup team, right? Because most of the account is still they are using the tape library. So first you have to perform these operations, these library operations, these media handling, how you have to handle media, how you eject the media, how you insert the media, how your tape library looks like that. So these operations are very important operations. You right, you have to show to your interviewer like you know how to insert the media, how to eject the media, how to insert the media.
Okay.
Okay. So in this we just seen IO slot, the IO slots. Here we have uh, the panel. We have few buttons. By these buttons we can perform these operations like ejection or insertion. Through these buttons we can perform the action, but we can perform this media ejection or insertion activity.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yes.
this is fine, right? We have this tape library, tape drive, tape media, right? The one more thing also, sorry.
Robots.
Yeah, we have robot. So basically robot is used for like moving the media from slots to drive and slots to IO slot. Okay. And I'll show you that the tape media also. Let me. Tape media, right? So this is looks like this. Earlier you can see this one. You have seen this one. This is the VCR cassette, right? The VCR. Yes. But your tape media is looks like this.
Okay.
Right. This. Now you have seen this one barcode.
Yeah.
Correct. Earlier, how you identify your the cassettes? You just write something on your tape or your like the cassette, the old songs, new songs, something like that.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Correct. But here you have the lots of media, 1000 media, 2000 media, right? So how you identify which media is used for which backup? Let's suppose you have taken the backup. Now the application user wants to restore some data from the previous date. You have to recall the tapes. So how you are going to identify the tapes? By this barcode. Right. This is we call
yes,
the barcode.
but hello. बस बट ये जो बारकोड है ना, ये अपना रोबोट ही आइडेंटिफाई करेगा ना?
यस यस यस, रोबोट भी आइडेंटिफाई करता है. एक्चुअली रोबोट पे एक बारकोड रीडर होता है. ठीक है. बारकोड जो है बेसिकली आई टेल यू. So this barcode is unique for each environment, for each media, and this is the 8 character. This length is the 8 character. 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7 8. In the last one, this last digit L9, right? It should be L5. So it can be L5, L6, L7, L8, L9 or L10. The right now we have the, so this is denoting the generation of tapes.
Okay.
right? Because in
Okay.
tape media also they are introducing the new tape, and that each generation has the higher capacity.
Okay. Okay. Then
Got
what
it?
about you show
Mm-hmm.
only one Almira type library. In that
Mm-hmm.
library, more than 100 media got completed full.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have
Mm-hmm.
to store for outside. Then how we can identify?
Okay. Yeah, actually, so I tell you now, this is the barcode actually on the net backup level or any of the software level,
But
right?
this is about
Once.
the robot, na. If we have to manual select media for restoration, that time
Mhm.
how we can identify that particular media?
Okay, actually, this identification is from your net backup tool or your is from the software tool, because
Okay.
the who is going to take the backup, the backup is taking or backup operation is performing by your the software or your net backup tool. So the net backup, we talked earlier also, each and every information is with the net backup master server in their catalog database.
Okay. Okay.
Correct. So what we are taking the backup for which client, that each information is stored in your net backup catalog. So if you need to identify for this restoration which media is needed, you have to search or you have to find in your net backup database. It will show you all the information related to that backup. Media ID, backup date, retention policy, backup policy, the client name, each and each and every information you can see there. Right? We'll discuss talk later on that. Right? No issues. But
Okay.
okay, it's good question. Now we are just talking about this barcode. So so actually on tool you will see this, so this detail only, right? You will see this detail only. If you are on the on side, then you can find out in your rack or where you put this these medias, right? You can easily identify this barcode, or so you can find the media. Or you are on the on side person, then you have to share this barcode detail with your off side person, bro, or we need this media, just identify and insert back in the library so we can perform the restore. Correct. In this, we talked this last one, this last digit. Actually, this barcode is a 8-digit barcode. The 6 digit, this one, and the last two digits. These are the basically denoting the generation. Let me show you generation of tapes or tape media. There is a one very good site. I'll tell you, like actually right now in the most of the environment they are using the generation 8 tapes. Right, this one. If you guys can see this,
Hmm.
this generation 6, generation 7, generation 8, generation 9, generation 10. Now we have the generation 14. Right,
Okay.
so you can see here these are the two things, the native and compressed. The native means you can store this data, 2.5 TB of data in this generation 6 type media, and in compressed mode, if you are using the compress, then you can
Hmm.
store 6.25 TB.
No, so I didn't get.
Okay, let's suppose you have the pen drive, right?
Correct.
And simply you are copying some data in the pen drive. You have the 2 TB pen drive and you store, you have a, let's suppose 500 the GB pen drive, you store one movie in that, and the movie size was around the 300 GB.
Okay.
Now you compressed it. Compressed mean you zip it. You know
Okay.
that the zip tools,
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
right? You can compress your files, right? So you compress that file. Now it become the 200 GB. Right, now you can store a 3 movie 200, or the like the 2 movies the 200 GBs. So in compression, actually what this, so here what is doing, this is like compressing the files, then it is storing the more data. Actual capacity is for this generation, it's a 2.5 TB, but if you enable the compression, then you can store the 6.25 TB data.
Okay. Compression will happen on a tape library level or net backup level.
It is happen on the both level.
Okay. Okay.
Right, if you are enabling on the net backup level, then it is enabled on the net backup level, and on the library also. Like once you configure your library initial configuration, then in the setting it will ask you to, you want to like compress, you want to enable the compress. If you enable the compress, then you can store this data.
Okay. Okay.
Right, so generation 6, generation 7, generation 8, so that barcode, right, that barcode is denoting your generations. In the last, it is putting L8, right, and generally we are using this LTO type of the tapes,
Okay.
LTO types.
And now, which version is the latest version on the market?
Actually latest version is
14.
14, but I don't think is anyone using this, because I just seen this till here Gen 8 or Gen 9 till now.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, might be some of it might be some the cloud vendor or some big the data center, they might be using this because it's a very huge capacity. You can see up to 1440 terabyte. 1440 terabyte, it means 1.5 petabyte,
Okay.
around 1.5 petabyte, right? 1.5 petabyte data you can store in a one single tape only. Right, now
Yeah.
now coming back to our this, Let me just. So earlier there was a two things. One was the CD drive and another was the DVD.
And sir, costing also different, na, for every LTO.
Yes, yes, yes. The costing is different for like each generation.
Mhm.
Gen 5, Gen 6, the costing is different for each, right? So let's suppose you have the Gen 5 tape media. For this, you need Gen 5 tape drive. For this, you need Gen 6 tape drive. Understand? Like the
Yes, sir.
generation, like they cannot like read or write. Let's suppose you are using a Gen 5 media and you are using the Gen 7 tape drive, then
Mhm.
it will not work.
Okay, okay, okay,
Correct? So
okay.
which type of the media you have, the same type of the drive you need. Correct? But
Correct.
here we have a one clause. The clause is one generation back.
Okay.
You can read and write.
Like if we are using 7th generation, then we can using 6 tape drive, Gen 6 tape drive.
Yes.
Is
If
it right?
you have one generation back, if you are using the generation LTO 7 tape drive, then you can write and read data from Gen 6.
6 and 7 both we can use.
Yeah, both. Yeah. The same actually the same generation it's work. But
Okay,
the clause is one generation back, you can read and write.
okay,
Correct?
okay,
And one generation ahead, you can read only.
okay,
Ahead, you can read only.
okay. And
Correct?
is there any
So
difference between LTO 8 or 9 apart from costing or size?
no,
Okay,
actually they are just like creating the generation. Uh, Actually, it's only the size only, because in this you can see they are just increasing the size in each generation.
okay,
Here you have Gen 6, here you have Gen 7. In this you are storing 6 TB in compressed 15 TB. Gen 8 it's 12 TB. Then like the 30 TB. Correct. So in each generation they are increasing space, or they are increasing the capacity.
okay, okay. Got it.
Right. Otherwise there is a no difference. Right. So
Yeah.
so one generation back you can read write. One generation ahead you can read only. Correct. Will show on the net backup level how, if you like, if you have this kind of the scenario, then how we can use that.
Mhm.
Okay, so this is fine, huh?
Yes, yes, fine.
Yes.
I'll tell you some the companies as well, which company is making these devices.
Okay.
If I'm talking about library, right? So library, we have IBM, HP, we have Oracle, right? But some more company also, but they are not actually the like most of the environment using only these brands. If you're going in any of the company, you will see these companies library.
Okay.
Okay. If I'm talking about tape drive, and this this tape media patent is with the IBM only. This tape is discover this technology is like discovered by the IBM, right? The tape drive, they are creating HP and IBM, and tape media we have HP, IBM, and Ultrium that we shown just now the website, Ultrium LTOs. Okay, so and they have the different models, right? The models like because you need to remember that model as well. Once you are going in the interview, they will ask you to which model of the library you are using in your environment. Right? I'll tell you some of the model name for IBM. For IBM, we have TS3200, TS3500, TS4500. These are the IBM
sir,
library models.
Hello?
Is
it work if we are using cross platform, like if our tape drive is HP and tape media is different, IBM, like that, it will work or not?
Yes, it will work. Actually, I told you na here. Actually, okay. So the library is like making these three company, IBM, HP, Oracle, and tape drive is making these two companies, and tape media is making these three companies.
Okay.
Now, in each of the model, like let's suppose you have this this HP library, and you are using the IBM library, and you are using the HP media, or you can use this IBM media, you can use this Ultrium media, but the condition is only that the generation should be the same.
Okay.
Right? It's not like that you have the IBM library, it has only the IBM drives, right? It can also support this HP drives also, and it can support the HP media also. It can support, but ऐसा होता नहीं है. मतलब मोस्टली तुम देखोगे ना जहां पे IBM लाइब्रेरी है, if we have an IBM library, then it also the IBM tape drive and IBM library. If someone is using the IBM library, then it has the same all three. But if someone is using this Oracle library, then it might be a IBM tape drives, or it might be a HP tape drives, IBM or HP.
Okay.
ठीक है, कहीं पे because these are vendors preparing this entire all these things. HP is preparing this your library, your tape drive and media, but Oracle, they are what they are doing, they are just importing, they are just preparing this box, and they are putting these like these vendor devices, they are putting HP or IBM drive, or they are purchasing this HP or IBM libraries, sorry, the medias. Okay, so for Oracle, we have SL150. SL150 is a small library, like we have 3 drives. In this also we have 3 drives and 48 slots. Let me just write down once again. Or let me do one thing. Let me just write down here in this Excel sheet. IBM. Here I am putting this TS3200. Okay. And one second.
HP.
tape drive and slots, IO slots, IBM 3200, then TS 3500, HP. Then we have Oracle. Tape drive 3 slots, 48 IO slot. It can be a 3 or 4. Okay. In this tape drive 12 IO slots, 48 into 4, 192. Okay, I'll not remember this one. IBM TS 3500 library specification. Okay, correct. 192 tapes, huh? 192, and IO slot, it can be a 16. Right? So you know this tape drive, the slots and IO slots. It can
Yes.
be a 3 or 4. Okay. HP we have MSL 3050. Oracle we have SL 150
150.
and SL 3000. So this SL 150 is like this, and this MSL is also like this, and this one is like this. Right?
Mhm.
So by the model, you can tell them like, okay, I have this IBM TS3500 model, and in this we have 12 drives, these 192 IO slots and 192 slots and 16 IO slots. Guys, is it fine?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so we talk this tape drive, library, and tape media and barcode, and the library function also. Okay, the one more thing here. Right. So inserting media. Right. Once you insert the media in the IO slot, correct, then robot will not automatically pick the media from IO slots to slot. You have to run the inventory. Correct. You have to run the inventory, then robot will pick the media from IO slot and put the media inside the slot. Actually, inventory, you can see it just nothing. It just rescanning your entire library.
Okay, okay, okay.
It just rescanning your library. If robot see any of the media is there in the IO slot, for the security reason, it will move the media from IO slot to slot. because in the IO slot, anybody can eject the media. For the security purpose, the library or robot will not keep the media in the IO slot. It will keep the media in the slot only if you are performing the media activity. Then you need to eject the media from slot to IO slot. Then you can eject out from the library. So once you run the inventory, if some media is there in the IO slot, it will take out this media to the slot from the IO slot.
Okay.
So for inserting this media, what we are calling this inventory, because this word, once if you are the offsite person and you are going in the data center putting the media, then you will ask to the on-site engineer to run the inventory, right? Then that on-site person will run the inventory from the Netbackup tool, from the Netbackup master server. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Here, the one more thing I just want to tell you. Just remember this TLD, right? If you have the multiple drives in your library, you have three drives in the library, and your media management operation is managed by the robot, then this library we called as a TLD library. Just listen, I'll just tell you what happened here. In some environment, you see the library has only one drive, and there is a no robot.
Okay.
There is a no robot, right? That library we called as a ACS library. In this in this type of the library, or in
It's a
this type
library
of
or
the
only we can say that drive only.
yes, one drive only. In that, actually, what the thing actually in in my the whole career, I have not seen this type of the environment. But still, some of the small the environment, they are using this kind of the like the environment. In that case, every time engineer has to put the media manually in the tape drive. Let's suppose you have a one drive and that media is full. You will see on the Netbackup level, it will showing you the status of that media, like full or empty. You will see this media is full. Then what happened? You need to, oh, 1 second. Huh? Battery is discharged. Right, so once you see this media is full, then you need to eject this media from this drive directly, from this like drive. You need, so you have to eject this media directly from the drive manually.
Okay.
Okay.
In earlier case, how we are doing? We are ejecting the media, then the robot what is doing? The robot is like picking the media from slot or from drive to the IO slot. Then from IO slot we are picking the media or we are collecting the media. But in this kind of this situation or in this kind of the scenario, you need to directly put the media in the drive and you need to directly eject the media from the drive. Correct. So
Yes.
at the Netbackup level or any of the software level, actually at the Netbackup level, once we are configuring this type of the library, what happened with this? Seeing some issue with the laptop. Oh. Okay. So this kind of hello, are you able to see?
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
are you able to
Yes, sir.
listen? Okay.
Yes, yes.
So this kind of the scenario we are called as a ACS, where we are putting directly the media from drive to from drive, or we are ejecting the media from drive, or we are putting directly the media to the drive.
Mhm.
Correct.
Yeah.
So once we are adding this kind of the library at the Netbackup level, correct.
Mhm.
We once actually we need to define the type also, right? So this where that like that media operations is managed by the robot, there we are like defining our library as a TLD type, and where this is like manual, there we are defining as a ACS. Okay, you just need to remember these words. I'll show you like where it will show you the how. पता नहीं क्या हो गया लैपटॉप को. Okay. So have anybody seen that the Netbackup the console, how it looks like?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, let me show you. Right, so this is you can see this RDP. Actually, this is one of the tool also, M remote ng. From this tool you can take the Windows server the remote, or you can take the your Linux server the remote as well.
Mhm.
You just need to change here this protocol,
Okay.
RDP or SSH. Correct.
Because this is
For
remote and
Windows,
third party tool.
Yeah, it's a third party tool. Actually, earlier we talk about that RDP or the putty.
Okay.
So
Okay.
actually, this is one of the tool that is basically used. The same tool you can use for Windows or Linux. Correct. You just
for
need
Windows we
to,
are using RTP.
yeah, for Windows, because the thing is why I tell you, because at the server level that RDP services will be running. I'll show you where you can see that services. Right. So here, once you like take this RDP session, it will ask you to user ID and password. Let me just stop this recording because otherwise it will record that these thing IP as well, na? Recording, stop.